They didn't expect your silence to affect them like this, guys. This is my third time I'm starting this video. That's why I have all the cards laid out in front of me. The mic, there was no sound. Anyway, something happened recently that made them realize you may actually be moving on, and there's one thing they are now terrified you'll never give them again. Two of Cups and the Queen of Swords here. Then we have the Hangman here. They may still be silent, but emotionally, this person is not where you think they are. Something has shifted over here. Ace of Cups, the Knight of Swords here. And the strange part is that it happened because you stopped doing something you used to do for them. Okay. You became very cold and silent towards them. And this feels like the moment someone realizes they pushed away the person they actually didn't want to lose. The star. You are their wish fulfillment. Always have been. Judgment. The King of Wands here. Somebody's definitely some energy is stopping me to record this video. Otherwise, how can this happen? This is my third take. So what they have been probably holding back is probably the last thing you would expect. I'm gonna, by the end of this video, I'm gonna tell you two things. What's happening here? Something happened emotionally with this person very recently, and I don't think you are seeing the full story yet. We are not able to see the full story yet, but by the end of this video, we are going to unveil it. They may have been trying to act completely fine, but underneath that, there's a realization happening literally about you that they can't easily undo. Okay. And there are, two things. Like I said, I want you to stay until the end of this video. Four of Swords, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Eight of Swords, strongly coming out. The first one is you triggered this emotional breakdown or sudden shift in this person. And second, I see what they are now realizing about you that could completely change the way they approach this particular connection. The Magician here, and we have the Eight of Pentacles here, guys. By the way, again, I had to shuffle these cards again. They are simply missing you. There's something much more specific underneath it, more than simply just missing you, actually, I would want to say. Okay. The energy, if you ask me what's happening right now, the energy around this connection feels like somebody or someone who has been deliberately holding themselves back. Okay. They may have convinced themselves that staying silent was easier. Maybe they thought if they didn't reach out, they could regain control. They could distract themselves, focus on other stuff, okay, on their work, focus on other things, or simply wait for the emotion to settle down first. They were manifesting that. But something has changed here. Like something has literally changed here. What I'm noticing is their silence and the emotional state are not matching right now. Okay. It is just not matching. Four of Swords, Eight of Swords. They haven't been able to move on. The Magician. From the outside, they may look detached here. They may even be giving the impression that they have moved forward. But internally, there's a lot more questioning happening inside. Okay. Inside them. They are looking back at something that happened between you both. It seems so. Okay. That happened between you both, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. A conversation, a moment where you pulled away. Something they said, or possibly something they failed to say. Can be. And here's the contradiction as well. They wanted distance, but the distance is now making them understand what your presence actually meant to them, actually. You may have sensed this already. Okay, you may have sensed this already because their energy feels very inconsistent. One moment it feels like they are trying to close the door, and the next it feels like they have emotionally, they standing right outside. They have been standing right outside. So, what exactly are they thinking about when nobody else is around? Their current thoughts and feelings. I'm just taking on one clarifying card over here. Mm. The Empress. Oh my God, guys. Their thoughts feel very focused on the difference between what they expected, what would happen, and what actually happened here. They may have expected you to keep waiting. They may have thought eventually you would become emotional, maybe reach out, maybe ask questions, or somehow make it easier for them to return. Okay. But your energy has literally changed. Okay. Your energy has literally changed. And I think that caught them off guard. Okay. That caught them off guard. And there's something they replay privately where they realize I handled that badly. Okay. Wheel of Fortune and the strength over here. This isn't necessarily someone comfortable admitting that to another person. It feels more like a private realization that comes in waves. Okay. They remember your reactions. They remember Leo energy, by the way, guys, and Jupiter, and somebody with a very strong Jupiter here, and Venus also, by the way. Now, they remember your reactions. They remember what you tolerated. They remember where you were patient with them, what all places you were patient with them, actually. And one unexpected detail here is what I'm sensing is that they seem to be wondering whether you are emotionally available to them anymore or not. And that question bothers them more than they expected. They could be checking from a distance, noticing changes, looking at something connected to you, or simply trying to figure out whether your life has continued without them or is it still stuck. Page of Swords. Totally, completely stalking you guys. And there's also a little jealousy around that, is what I feel. Eight of Wands. Why are you not talking to them? Why have you not reached out to them yet? Not necessarily because they know someone else is there, but because they are imagining that possibility here. That's what makes this uncomfortable, for them. That is what is making it so uncomfortable. 10 of Cups, 8 of Wands, Page of Swords, what cards? Wow. They are starting to understand that you cannot be placed on pause indefinitely. Okay. You can't be put on hold forever. And when I see 10 of Cups, 8 of Wands, Page of Swords, this changes a lot of things here. The strongest twist right now I see is that the emotional breakdown isn't really about losing the relationship in the past. It's about realizing they could lose their opportunity in the future because they imagined their life with you, their kids with you, their house with you, their family with you. It's about so many things. It's about future, and that is very different. They may have assumed there would always be another chance. They could take their time, they could come back whenever they felt ready, maybe. Okay, whenever they felt ready, or something or the other. But now they are actually questioning whether you'll still want the same thing when they finally decide to act. And honestly, that feels like the pressure point over here. Okay, that feels like a pressure point over here. If till now, if this is describing your situation, just comment I receive clarity below. I genuinely want to know how many of you are experiencing this kind of shift here because this is very important. And if you haven't connected with my energy, you haven't liked this particular video, which means you haven't connected with my energy and the energy of these cards. So quickly go ahead and connect with my energies and comment I claim. Follow me right now for the energy exchange. So there's a fear here that you have reached a point where words alone won't impress you anymore. And if you want this person to impress you, put in some efforts, hack this particular video right now. They know something has to change. Okay, they know something has to change, and that realization is uncomfortable, trust me, because it forces them to look at their behavior own behavior instead of blaming the circumstances, I would say. Nine of Cups. What are they hiding? It's not, oh my God, simply affection over here. Three of Cups, Nine of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy is very strong. It's the vulnerability here. That's what I see. They don't want you to know how much your absence has affected their confidence about this connection. There's regret around how they handled the situation, but there's also embarrassment here. They may know they created the distance themselves. And that makes approaching you even harder because they don't know what reception they'll get, what answer they will get from you. Seven of Wands, you may even push them away. You may ask difficult questions which they may not have answers for. There's also something they haven't fully admitted. Part of them wants you to make the first move because that would remove their fear of rejection. But another part knows that if they genuinely want this, they have to take responsibility. That internal battle is what I think you are picking up on. They can miss you and still hesitate. Okay. They can want reconciliation and still fear the conversation required to get there, that particular conversation. That's why the energy feels so stop and start, push and pull, stop and start, chariot, Cancer energy, Temperance, Sagittarius energy. Oh my God, lovers and Knight of Pentacles. Gemini energy, somebody is so attracted with you still. This can be a twin flame or a soulmate connection as well. Now, getting to your energy, reading your energy over here, your energy feels noticeably different from theirs. That's for sure. You're becoming tired of trying to decode silence. You may still care deeply, but you are not looking at the situation in exactly the same way anymore. No. There's a stronger sense of if you want me, show me, sort of. I don't know why I saw this and I got this. And that shift is important, guys, because the more you stop trying to force an answer, the more this person has to confront their own uncertainty. Okay, their own uncertainty. You are not necessarily closing your heart. Okay, you are not necessarily closing your heart. You are simply becoming less willing to carry the entire emotional weight of the connection. Two of Wands, future. And I think they can feel that. I'm sensing that from their energy and from your energy. Because what I feel, what is going to happen next is the strongest possibility I'm seeing is movement after a period of hesitation. It has taken them a long time. It has taken a long time planning. It has taken them too much of observation over here. Okay, too much of checking whether you will or you will not communicate, and that could be communication, a subtle attempt to reconnect or some kind of opening where they test whether the door is still open. They are going to test the water here for sure first. I wouldn't treat this as a, you know, this as something that they will just come and go or assume it has to happen on a specific day. But I feel whenever you watch this particular video within 8 days, this may happen. But the energy does suggest that their internal pressure is increasing right now. And within 8 days, they should approach you no matter whenever you come across this video. If this energy continues, they may eventually realize that silence is no longer protecting them. In next upcoming 8 days, anytime they can reach out to you. The important part is that the next step would need to be more intentional than before, not just I miss you types. More like, can we actually talk about what happened and all? It's more like that. That is the kind of emotional shift I am seeing. Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups over here, and the Tower. Knight of Cups and the Tower here. Mars energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. Very strong. Now we come back to the two things I mentioned at the beginning. What triggered this particular breakdown, the Tower card? Okay. It feels connected to the realization that your absence is becoming real, not temporary. Okay. And what are they realizing about you over here is they're realizing that you may not be waiting in exactly the same place they left you. That is the part they didn't expect, actually. Not at all. Not even this much. And if this reading, guys, resonated, like the video and subscribe to my channel. 70 to 80% are non-followers, and it's a shock for me. Come on, guys, that's the only motivation I have, because I would love to have you here for the next reading as well. So hit the notification bell, and if you want early access to some of my readings, you can also join the YouTube membership. Right now, it's the details are in the description below. For now, if you may ask me, the strongest message is this: um, they may have thought they were losing the connection. They're starting to realize they may have been losing their chance. Virgo energy, by the way, guys, coming out of the shell. They may lose, they have done this due diligence, they have tried to figure it all out, and what they feel is they may lose the connection if they don't hurry up now. So what do you honestly feel has changed between you two recently? Let me know in the comment section, guys. And the spell work that I'm going to suggest in this particular reading is 7 days love reconciliation, 7 days love obsession, or you can also go for 21 days love combo. Okay, trust me, guys, the full moon is around the corner, and that's the most potent time to get the spell work done. So please go ahead and get it done. My details are mentioned in the description box right below. You can reach out to me on Instagram or WhatsApp, any which way. Thank you so much.